I guess it is it. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Romain, and we're gonna have a moment together to talk about NoCode and how NoCode allows us to accelerate innovation roadmap. So I am co-founder at Roki with Kilian here. Roki is a web development agency. We create apps. And we use a lot of different kind of technologies, mostly no code, but also the classical web technologies. Quick story, I used to be a founder of 2 startups before Roki. And the last one, we are developing a platform using very classic code development. We spent 2 years and around €500,000 to build this app. And after COVID, when we left the company with Kilian, we realized that with no-code tools like Bubble, we could build exactly the same thing within 1 month. And that's when we decided we should look into no-code and dive into it and dig the whole no-code industry, and that's how we start creating the agency. Very quick, what is no-code? No-code is a platform that allows developers to create applications. It provides a visual interface and components that can be assembled and configured. So every one of you knows that, but I have to say it. Very different kind of no-code tools. You also know that because a lot of them are here today. But basically, we as web app developers, we use app like Bubble. We use a backend no-code tools. But basically, there are a lot of different kind of tools. And no-code is not just one technology, it's many. Now let's dig into our subject, the need for speedy innovation. Innovation is something that requires a lot of speed, and that's why no-code is very useful. First, no-code is fast, accessible, and agile. I said earlier that it took 2 years to build a platform that can be done in 1 month. That's a huge gap. Accessible because you don't need to spend 2-3 years learning 1, 2, 3 different code languages to start and dive into no-code tools. And very agile because these platforms, most of them, they provide an environment that allows us to connect and integrate a lot of tools, a lot of different services, and that makes the whole product building very accessible and agile. The momentum, when you want to develop an innovative product, momentum is key. This is the hype cycle from Gartner. Every year they provide us with this super interesting cycle. If you're not in the right time, in the right moment when you build a new innovation, either you're too early, that means you're very innovative but nobody cares about what you're doing. Either it's too late because there are already a lot of companies doing what you want to do. So the momentum is key, and that's why you need to be fast when you find the right momentum. Also because we experienced it with the COVID situation, it can be major, very fast economical changes. From one to the other day, we had to stay home, and then Zoom was booming, and a lot of SaaS platforms, digitization of the economy was going super fast. So no-code environment allows that to be able to react as quick as the economical environment can change. Agility and adaptability. So we spoke about this earlier. Like these no-code tools, most of them, they are providing a lot of integrations. Sometimes, like let's say Bubble, they have like a front end, a back end, automation tools. They have API integrations. They have bulk scripting for managing the databases. They have error tracking. They have like a lot of stuff at the same place that you can use. How NoCode enables faster innovation. First, as I said earlier, there are like many different kind of NoCode tools. When you prototyping, first steps of innovation, you don't want like to build the rocket. You want to start with a small and easy product. You want to test it, so you have to have a prototype. They are like NoCode tools, very useful to build prototypes. You can build apps within days with these kind of tools. Most of the mobile apps, let's say Glide, for example, you can build very fast. Also, one of the biggest positive point about NoCode is you don't have to stick to one technology and having this one technology to resolve all your problems. With NoCode environment, you can have a tool that is developed for, let's say, very technical persons, but also you can have a different NoCode platforms for the same company, but that will be used by the operationals, the people that who's gonna sorry, I can't find my word. You have the technical person and the non-technical person in the same company. And the non-technical companies, they have to use different kind of tools that the technical people. So let's say if you have like a database, you need to use for like you have millions of lines in this database, and this is something very technical. But then also you have like another kind of environment for like your blog or your products or your, let's say, that's fine. Then Airtable would be a better solution because you can manage the data very easily. Fast development. So here is a screen of Make. Make is very famous. They're here also today. This is a screen of a scenario in Make. And Make allows people and companies to build a scenario and to actually solve a problem you have in your company very fast without having to write any line of code. So this is also very quick because with this kind of solutions, you don't have to develop a front end. So there is no need of printing information on the screen. That's why these kind of tools are very useful. APIs, no-code tools allow you to plug an infinite different kind of API services. API world is like a tunnel between your app and another app. It could be a bank, it could be the weather forecast, it could be sport, it could be anything. It could be AI. AI is very trendy right now. And also these platforms, they allow you to build your product in the right way. That means that you don't need to have like the big stack, very expensive, very technical, very difficult to maintain. But you can have like your MVP, step one, and then bring your MVP to like a real product, step two, and then you can adapt your product. You can bring some code into it to make it faster, to make it more reliable. And that's how you can develop your innovation in the right way. Case study, this is Propiro. Propiro is a real estate company. They are based in Australia. The main job of Propiro is to find properties for investors, but also to do everything the investor need to do. That means you don't need to go to the bank, they will do it for you. You don't need to go to the notary, they will do it for you. You don't need to find people to settle in, they will find for you. You don't need to find contractors to do work on the house, they will find for you. So this is the app Propiro. Very quick. This is a mobile-first app. That means like the app is full responsive. You have a lot of information. It's like a Airbnb like app for this tab. You can find a lot of information, very useful. But also there are information dedicated to the investor situation. So you want to find if this investment is good for you or not. So here are a lot of information regarding the evolution of the properties in this area, or the evolution of the rent, or the yield. And all of that is developed with NoCode tools. Basically, it's Bubble, Airtable, Make, also classic web technology like SQL. And this was pretty fast because here, 2 months after we start developing this app for them, they were able to raise 1.6 million. Then they were able to grow for 6 months. Afterward, they raised another 8 million. They won a lot of innovation awards. They were for 2 years in a row, 2022 and 2023. They were most innovative startup, PropTech of the year, FinTech of the year. Like they won a lot of stuff. And this was because mostly of they were using NoCode, and it was crazy how fast they went. Propiro now, it's 80 employees after 2 years. It's 1 million MRR, or monthly recurrent revenues. 5 countries, and they're actually raising a Series C around $30 million. So that's a big amount of money. They will be available in a lot of countries next year. So that was Propiro. Step 5, skepticism and concerns. So a lot of people are wondering, like, okay, NoCode is cool, NoCode is fast, NoCode is cheaper, but cheaper mean yeah, it's not as good as real code. So let's talk about that. Flexibility. First thing, like a lot of people believe that no-code environment is not very flexible. You know, that you have like some components, some tools that are available to you and that you need to use them. But actually, it's not true for most of the platforms, because these tools are very flexible, and you can create very like on-demand component from a blank page, and you can really like provide any front end pixel perfect from a Figma or from a UI kit. Integration, a lot of people are asking, like, is it possible in NoCode to do this? Is it possible to do that? Actually, yes. The answer is always yes, because there is always a web services providing the solution our client needs. It's only a question of integration. It's possible to add like an infinite number of API on an app. So yes, it's possible to do almost everything using NoCode. Performance. A lot of people say, okay, NoCode is not as performant as code. That's true. That's less and less true, because most of the NoCode technologies are improving day by day. And right now, it's very hard to measure the difference of performance between classic app and NoCode app. Very, very difficult, except maybe the quality of the people coding versus the quality of products developed by no-coders is not the same. So sometimes there are performance issues, but the technology, the no-code technology, is not the problem. Security, basically, that's a big issue. That's a big question. Every company we work with are asking this question. Right now, like a technology like Bubble is using cryptography, like the basic web security. The database are encrypted. The information between the database and the client are encrypted. And you can use like actually every classic security measures on your app that a classic code would use. And compliance. GDPR is very important. Also, not all the no-code platforms, but the biggest ones are compliant with GDPR. It depends, like GDPR, the tools are compliant, but it depends what you are going to build with it. So if you respect the GDPR rules, building your app, then it would be no problem at all. So the accessibility is a problem, because it's like you're having a training of Word during 1 week. So now you're a pro using Word. And because of that, you believe that you're able to write a novel or something like that. No, that's not true. Mastering Word won't make you a good novelist. That's exactly the same for no-code tools. It's not because you spend 3 weeks playing with bubble that you're an app developer. That's not true. It needs a lot of time and efforts. It needs to understand what front end is, what back end is, what algorithm is, what security compliance is, what design is, and that takes a lot of time. And because of that, we have a lot of no-code apps, which are very bad, because these guys, they are doing apps, and then we have to help them, like trying to fix the apps. As I said, like when we discovered we would have been able to do the very expensive app we've been doing before COVID, we start digging, and 2.5 years, 3 years after, we're still digging, and as we dig, the pit is deepless, so it will never end. Actually, these no-code companies, they have been raising big amount of money, $100 million for Bubble, and I don't know, $500-700 million for Make or Webflow, or so. No, they have a big teams, and they are improving the technology very, very fast. Every week, every month, new features, new improvements. So we every day, every week, our developing world in the no-code environment is easier and easier. Future of no-code. This is in, I think it's 2022. No-code in United States, it's about 40% of companies using no-code. Of course, they are ahead of us in Europe and the rest of the world. Only 4% in France. But basically, no-code, low-code will be used in almost all the companies within like 5-10 days, 10 years, sorry. The no-code, low-code is used basically in every industrial sectors. It's only a matter of time. And Gartner is projecting that within 2-3 years, like 70 or 80% of the apps in the world will be built with no-code. If you have a few questions, we have some time ahead of us. Thank you. Yes?
You said you developed the application for PropHero in 2 months?
Yes.
Was it in like 7 hours, days? Or was it like with all-nighters?
So, actually, it's been 2 years, almost 2 years, we are developing PropHero. What you saw is what we did the first 2 months. It was Kilian and I doing that at the very beginning, because it was two years ago. We were doing that in 2 months, and we were also working on another project. So it was actually like, yes, we were working a lot, long hours, maybe 10 hours a day, but as we were working on another project, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 hours a day. Not so much, 2 people, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, better than presenting in English. Yes? Oh, okay. I don't want to say something I would regret, but so this is a very personal feeling. Um, we use Bubble since the beginning because that's the first one we found and also one of the biggest regarding app development. We tried to use other apps, other platforms than Bubble, and every time we found like a closed door or something, and then we just turn back to Bubble and we try something else, and then okay, but this is very easy on Bubble, so I will go back to Bubble, etc., etc. But we believe that it depends what you want to do. Like today, if you want a web app, responsive, also mobile or native, and you want all that together, Bubble is the best. If you want a native app only, then other techno like Flutterflow, yes, Flutterflow is one of the best. If you already have your database and you just want to build the front end, then WeWeb or Tudor, thank you, would be good choice also. But as I said, we are not sure today that they have the same level of agility and that they are like 360 degrees, like regarding what you have to do when you want to build a professional app, very functional, very secure, very performant. Yes, yes, they are. Actually, like they are, but we have been shifting. Like at the very beginning, it was Bubble and Airtable only. Then it was Bubble and Airtable and a few APIs. Then it was Bubble and Airtable and SQL database. Then it was Bubble and now they have like another app for native only, because at the first we use like I don't know docking technology to fake a native app with a web app. Now it's not as performant as a real native app. So now they are developing using Flutter. So yeah, it was growing, and the stack is evolving as the project is evolving, but the front end is full Bubble still. It's a mix. Obviously, like the backend part of it is like a big classic stack now, like very SQL, very API, very codey part of the app. The front end and all the easy stuff, it's still no code. Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do for your customers? So is it mainly, like we saw, B2C applications, or also B2B, or maybe internally used applications in an enterprise?
Yeah. Rule number one at Roki, we only work for people we like. We don't really care of the product, you know. We believe that having a nice feeling with our customers is more important than the product itself. We are product centric and not tech centric. So what we do, we have basically three different kind of job at Roki. First one is designer. I mean, in the global way. So we do the design thinking to help provide the client with how digital would help with this problem. Then we do also like all the Figma and everything, the wireframes and the UI. We have a second part, which is product management. That means every morning having video calls with our clients to manage the project. And the third job is developer. So we can do either one, two, or three of these jobs for one client. Some clients, they have a product manager, they have a designer, we only do the dev. Sometimes they only have one of the three, and we do the two other. Yes?
As much as you want to share, but like, how do you price the apps that you create as an agency?
Yeah, good question. It depends, like what it depends the client philosophy. But most of the times we do like the first MVP or whatever you call it, V1 or whatever. We would provide an estimate. We'd say, okay, it's gonna take like more or less 2 or 3 months. But the price will be, I don't know, 20,000 euro or 30,000 euro. Like, and then we will stick to the price. So the price is fixed, and then we have to deliver whatever happens. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but basically most of the time we are okay. We're still alive, so that's okay. Then when V1 is in production, then we are doing the continuous dev. So we ask the client what the budget is, and then we provide with how many days the client needs. So sometimes for ProPiro, for example, at the beginning, we were doing this estimate for 2 or 3 months. Then for 6 months, we were doing 10 days a month. And then after they raise some money, we work 20 days a month, and then 40 days a month, etc., etc.
So they just send you the features they want, and
exactly. Every morning we have a conference with them, and they have a product, and we have a roadmap. We know what the priority are and what we should do next.
And out of curiosity, what tools do you use to manage those features and the roadmap?
Oh, very, very classical. No, like Jira or Notion or Slack or collaborative tools most of the times. Always Figma for the design because Figma is so ahead of everything right now, and so yeah, Figma, and then if the client, if our client is on Notion, we would use Notion. If he's on Slack, we would Slack. Some of them are using Jira. We adapt. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, first question. Yes, the design was included. Actually, we use like a Bootstrap, so it's already like a design kit.
When I was saying design, I was thinking about design thinking, like design thinking, the process of talking to the
Okay, they had already a pretty good idea of what they want. So like it was some sketch and everything, and they knew the user stories, and they knew. So this is a startup. You know, we have two kind of clients. We have the startups, and most of them knows already very precisely what they want. And then we have like the classic companies, SMEs, and most of the time they don't know anything of what they want. They just have a problem, you know. For ProPiro, yes, they are the precise idea of what they want, and it was easy for us to create the design and to develop. For some like SMEs, the guy just told us like, hey, come spend the day with us, look how we're working, and then just try to provide us with a good solution, whatever it is. We don't know how to solve it, but you will. We don't understand how this world works, but you know, so come, look, and try to fix it. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's very easy because sometimes we have Figma already done and it's very easy. We just find, okay, it's 20 pixel here and 20 pixel, very easy. Sometimes we have to start from the very beginning and just have to look how the people are struggling to do some stuff and think some ways to fix it. Second question. How did we found a client in Australia, which is we live in Marseille, and basically it's the country like on the opposite of the world. Yes, so it could not be forest for okay, you understood. Very good question, and that's part of the answer. We speak French because it's a French guy who worked in McKinsey in Australia, and he started this company with a Spanish guy, and we knew a guy that knew us that say, hey, these guys they know how to do no code, so you should speak, and that's how it started. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
You sort of answered already my question with the answer of one of the questions. I was wondering if you were convincing your clients with no code, so they come to you because of the fact you are using no code.
Um,
Got that? Yeah.
it's difficult to answer and to stay honest, you know, because uh, we are a hammer, so we see nails everywhere, you know, and we know very well the no-code environment. So we believe no-code environment is the best solution. That's probably not true, but that's what we believe. So we are being honest with ourselves. Um, we are not, you know, bubble is not our religion. Some are saying the opposite, but we are not devoted to bubble or any other kind of technology. We're just trying to think what would be the best technology for this situation. Would Airtable would be a good solution to help the team to manage the data? Yes, okay, so Airtable it is. Would Bubble be the best solution doing this, or maybe it's Flutterflow? Okay, and that's how we try to answer. Thing is, like now with no code solution, 95% of a project is actually quite simple. It's not hard to do. Like 5% is very difficult, but on a big project, like 95% of what you do is very easy. So no code is a very good answer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. So we are in booth B9 if you want to talk with us. Sorry again for me struggling earlier, and that will be better when we have a few drinks in the evenings.